The lighting's not too bad. A little blue, but
Hello there. Happy Valentine's Day. We were just talking. We're looking a little blue, but we're not blue. We're just looking a little blue. It must be the lighting. We keep saying we're going to get one of those fancy schmancy lighting things, but we haven't. Welcome to Legacy of Love and Laughter. I know it's been a minute. Uh, I am Alicia Leslie, also known Reverend Alicia Leslie Nana. Uh, hey, and
I'm Valerie. Do I have to put Bergeron in there because it's still Bergeron for sure. Grandma, Mame, or great grandma. I've got so much family now. I have to make a list.
so we've been really busy while we haven't been doing videos, and we've all been dealing with some stuff going on. But today, we want to talk about our perspectives on love and marriage. And we got a pretty good spread of it over all these years. Now, on one hand, we have how many years of marriage?
63, I believe it is.
63 years of being married to the same person and all. My experience is in being single, married twice. The total came out to like 20 years, and that's the two of them together. And then since then, I kind of like go it on my own. Um, but as a minister, I have done a lot of marital counseling. I do premarital counseling, and I'm a very good observer, and I got some traction. So we'll start off with saying Happy Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's Day.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So what I did is I gathered a bunch of questions. It said
Sweet, sweet.
grandparents' advice on love and marriage.
This is not necessarily our opinion.
This
We
is
we
true.
we, we got look for some information in other places. So don't
And
get
some
mad.
of it's crap. Just I'm going to say it right out. Some of it's crap. We got too many questions to to attack today, but we'll just do our best. So the first one is one that I call BS on it. It says there's a true love for everyone.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't agree with it either.
I don't know. Some days I do, and some days I don't. But I tend to be that way. Depends on my mood.
Well, I mean, I've actually not had an enduring relationship because I made bad choices. So the best advice I can give you
Ask
is
your sister first.
no, sir. You would have told me not to marry Bob Gordon. You
You're
would have
right. I
told me.
would have
See,
told you
if
not
only
to.
she'd have told me because I kind of have my doubts. So that is a very good thing. You can. It's okay to if you have any doubts at all. It's okay to ask your someone that you really trust. So, is there a true love for everyone? I think the most important true love for everyone is loving yourself.
Absolutely. Not in a selfish kind of a way.
No, no,
Sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit for things you do, things you know, that you're a kind person with a big heart.
or cute.
Or cute.
You know,
Cute is good.
we're cute.
Cute,
We got
cute
our
is
little Valentine Day dues on. Um, Speaking of which, I have looked back. I always thought I was kind of like skinny, buck tooth, flat chested. So I didn't love myself very much. But we look back at pictures and I go,
damn cute.
oh, I'm pretty damn cute. And you know what I'll say, even now, at 79, haven't hit the 80 yet, 79, I think I'm pretty cute. How
And look
about
at
you?
that hair. If you have any questions about is she cute or not, anybody who does that with their hair is very cute.
Yeah, I got a funny story about that. When I was a kid, I was a teenager. There was a boy from school who really liked me, and I thought he was really cute. And one day I saw him with his grandmother, and she was what was called a blue-haired old lady. She had back in the day, you would actually use bluing to put it in your hair to try to be more, have it whiter so it didn't get that yellow tinge of white. She doesn't have that. She's good. But I saw it and it freaked me out. It's look at me now. Talk about karma. All right.
Get what you pray for.
So I think the true love for everyone is to love yourself. Here's a good one. Always have money of your own.
At least a little.
This is true.
I walked around for years when we were first married. Well, actually, until the kids were all pretty much born and little on their own. I had a clicker. When I went in the grocery store, I had to click everything that I bought, how much money it was, and I had it for years. I used to pray every time I went in the grocery store, please God, let me live long enough so I don't have to have a clicker when I go to get my groceries.
This is true.
The kids didn't get it. They thought it was kind of neat for me to have the clicker. But I told you, don't you touch that clicker because we might make a mistake. But it was not cute. It was very difficult. And it was one of those things about being married young. You're going to have something like that. My husband had a good job, but it's still with 3 little kids, I still didn't want the clicker. And I don't have a clicker anymore. I don't think they even make them.
Probably not. You got to put it on your phone now. Right?
It was same difference.
Yeah. Okay, here's another interesting one. Make sure your partner shares the chores.
Chores. What do we consider chores?
That is an open question. That's another one where you say, and here's the thing. Back in the day, as we say at our age, back in the day, a lot of women were homemakers. And so theirs were the cooking and cleaning, and the husband did the making the money and doing the outside stuff. There's no rules about this. The thing is that you equally work together. It's a partnership.
And so much has changed since we were younger because now so many women work a full-time job.
Oh, totally.
Now
Totally.
you got that. We didn't have that choice. I mean, I didn't want it particularly. I was perfectly happy being a stay-at-home mom, and Don was perfectly happy being the boss and going out and earning the money and doing whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it just changed everything so much, and that generation in between us and then, it's a lot of changes.
Well, and there's a horrific thing I'd like to share with you. Did you ever hear of you remember the Anjuli commercial?
Mm,
And this lady'd say this was at the turn of from people, mothers being at home to mothers being at work. And it was this lady, and she'd have a frying pan and this sexy little green dress on, and she'd go, I can bring home the bacon and fry it up in a pan and show my guy, make my guy happy as a man.
they're always happy.
It was like you work your butt out day and night and you kiss his feet and maybe he'll be happy.
Maybe.
Doesn't work that way. But I think that having money, we're back on chores. I was back at the money.
That money thing
Did we
never
ever
goes
get to
away.
that money thing? Have money on your own? Did I just skip over that?
No, you said something about everybody should have money on their own, didn't you?
Yeah, but I guess we never really discussed it.
You should, because there's nothing worse than going someplace and wishing you could buy your friend that you were out shopping with, if you could buy them a lunch, and you're going, I don't think I have enough money to buy 2 people lunch.
And it's
It's
also
a little thing.
from back in the day, with money, we were a housekeeper, a homemaker's value was incredible. It was worth probably more than most men made. You're on duty 24 hours, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing finances. You have to be very smart.
Having babies.
Having baby, oh yeah, I want to talk about labor. That's labor. But yeah, so you really should have your own money.
It doesn't have
And
to be a
if
lot of
you-
money. You just have to feel that in a pinch, you can offer to buy your friend lunch.
Well, see, we are sisters, but we not alike about a lot of things. And I think a woman should have substantial money of her own. If she's a homemaker, her husband should give her something that she can safely put aside. And you know what? You don't always know that it's actually going to work out, right? So
I guess that never occurred to me at the time.
yeah, well, and
But
a
I
lot
never
of
had the
people
money either.
stayed in very, very bad marriages because they didn't have the money to go out. I support, even though I've been divorced twice, I fully support marriage. I think it is, uh, it's a great foundation for a life. And if people understood it's a foundation for your life,
Right.
it's not this romantic, I'm sorry, Hallmark stuff. Romance is something you develop. And that's the thing. We tend to do it backwards a lot. A lot of people, they get at me because I don't like Hallmark movies.
I love them. Doesn't that figure? Just knowing each other, we know.
But I mean, they're
They're
illusional.
a big
They're
joke.
not real. They're not what it's
Doesn't
really
matter.
like.
It takes your mind off of other things.
No,
The
no,
bills are coming in.
no. Because
cost
I'm
of
going to go
sleeping.
back here to
Yeah.
there's a true love for everyone. There's not. In Hallmark movies, there's a love for everyone, including the cats and the dogs and the goldfish. Even the fighting fish don't fight. No, it's no. I think that you have to be grounded. And I had such illusions about romance. Our parents, dang them, they had a great marriage.
They had a real marriage, the kind of marriage that Ricky and Lucy were,
Except
they,
Ricky and Lucy's real
they liked
marriage
each other.
wasn't like that.
They did things
They
together.
liked each other. They
But
held hands.
They did.
When they were approaching their 63rd anniversary, they would still walk and hold hands. And oh, there'd be these little, you couldn't even call it a fight, more like a spat. You're like, dang it,
And
get
you
it.
got to remember with them, they had their last child right around the time I graduated from high school.
Right.
So there was love going on there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Now here's one that I totally didn't agree with. I think it's insane. It said, "Shed your tears in private."
I can't wait. I can't
If
wait till it's private. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not a crybaby, but I don't agree with that. And
if your mate can't comfort you when you're crying, you got the wrong mate.
really,
Really, really.
really,
I had a horrible experience when I was. I think it was what do they call that? Postnatal blues.
oh yeah,
And I had a brand new little baby, 2 months old, and our grandfather passed away. And I had this horrible dream that I died, and it freaked me out. I mean, here I had this new baby, and I dreamed that I died. It was so realistic; it was creepy. And I tried to wake my husband up to tell him. He told me to roll over and shut up. He was sleeping.
Well, that was romantic,
That's a good sign.
sympathetic, caring.
Good sign. That's
loving.
not a good choice. So
Don't make another
Just-
baby.
yeah, yeah. Here's another interesting one now. Never lose hope.
That I agree with. If
And
your heart's in it, never lose hope.
but yeah, and it's a two-pronged thing. You see, you never lose hope that you can make it one way or the other. Now, I tried very hard to make my first marriage last 17 years.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah. And the thing is, I literally did everything in my power to do anything that I thought would make the marriage good. A part of that was I didn't think I could ever find someone else who would love me.
They're not a dime a dozen.
He wasn't loving me anyway. What's that? I was up with that. So don't lose hope. If you're having a hard time, I'm not saying go get a divorce. If you're in just a bad relationship, you're not married yet. Don't get married. Not till you are sure. You need someone who's going to be there, love you, support you.
Got to be able to talk. We had agreements. One of our agreements was, I said to Donald, and this was just before we were married, if we have an argument, no matter how bad it is, no matter what kind of argument about, no matter what it's about, don't ever walk out of the house in the middle of an argument. Please.
Yeah.
We both deserve that. I mean, no matter how mad you get. And we never, this has nothing to do with what we promised, we never hollered at each other. He never walked out on me. I never walked out on him. And we didn't ever have screaming fights, ever. It just never happened.
In our house, on the other hand, there was a lot of it. A lot of disrespect. I tried really, really hard to totally.
Selfish mate.
Well, you know, and it was also rough on the kids. That's another thing. Don't have kids till you're pretty darn sure that you're with someone who wants to have a family. Um, a lot of people don't even discuss that.
No.
That's like, well, there's a little touchy here. It's like, heck,
Yeah.
I would never discuss that with my ex-husband. You know, God forbid. And if I told him it's not working out, he would like. So anyway, yeah, you have to be able to talk about anything, and you have to talk.
Yeah.
Some people
You
they
can't be
say,
afraid to talk. Fighting doesn't work. Hollering doesn't work. You just get riled up, and it doesn't solve anything. You have to plan in your head what you need to say.
yeah, and it's the thing is you have to be able to talk not only about anything. You have to want to talk to each other. You have to be friends.
Exactly.
So friends talk to each other. If you find you're not talking to your mate, your partner, uh, find something to talk about. And that was another big mistake I made. Like I say, our parents made it look so. I got a tag sticking out. It's making me nuts. I'm hiding the lady stuff. um, God, I lost my train of thought. It left the station. I don't know. I'll go back to it later. Um, okay. I love and respect yourself. Um, I did. I don't think I love myself enough. Again, I had a bad self image when I was younger. I still am very short. I was very short when I was younger, and I still am.
She's grown right into it. She's still short.
Yeah, yeah, it works. Uh, anyway, let's get off that. Never lose hope in yourself and in your possibility. Two marriages because I didn't hope I could do better. Ah! I've learned a lot, and for that, I really have to thank Unity. It's my religious path is my spiritual path, and one of the things I learned early on in the beginning, you are a beautiful and beloved child of God, mighty to attract your good. You have no idea. That helped me a lot. Okay, um, everything happens for a reason. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know about everything, but you got to think it out a little bit because nothing just is pops in your head last minute and you're going, I'm going to talk about that right now. No way. Think about if everything happens for a reason, try to figure out what the reason is first before you get in a discussion.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
There you
Even
go.
if there is no
Great minds think
discussion,
alike.
I know. Um, Even though we look at it sometimes differently, everything happens for a reason. You got to figure out the reason. Why? Because it doesn't happen again. And sometimes you have to have the courage to say, this has to change or I'm out of here.
It's nice to know what your mate, your partner thinks. You know, include them in some of your thought processes because my brain will go all over the place sometimes with wanting to know information. And did you this? And did you know that? And did you see that? I'm very curious. And when they're not being chatty and they're not curious, sometimes that's not a good time to talk.
This is true.
But if you've got something bothering you, you have to find a way, even if it's coming in the back door somehow, to let them know that whatever it is, you have to talk to them about it without fighting about it. You can't
Yeah.
fight every time you turn around. You can't raise your voice. I've never had to do that. Boy, was
Well,
I lucky.
yeah, fights happen. And
Discussions can be
sometimes
painful,
when
though.
you have a buildup of a lot of stuff going on, and you try and you try and you try. I played a game with a friend of mine. This is not funny. It's sick. A friend of mine who also had an abusive husband. We called it the Stepford Wives game, and we did everything. The game was you had to try to get points. You got points for not getting into an argument. You got points for not speaking back. You got points for putting extra goodies in the lunches. You got points. It was really, really bad. And you lost points if you spoke up for yourself or if you had an argument or anything like that. That was not healthy. So just keep that in mind. Uh, there were things going on, and sometimes things can't be fixed. And if you try to fix it. If you can't fix it, uh, you have to step
Take
back.
care of yourself. You have to take care of
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
but in a good way. Be good to yourself. Don't blame yourself for what's going on all the time. It's not, well, at times it's not your fault.
yeah,
And it could come from anywhere. It could come from outside family, friends who are giving you bad advice, things you listen to on the television, a movie that you watch on Hallmark. You'd be amazed at, at the things that can come up.
bad
She
advice.
hates them. Christmas time, I can't get enough. I think that's so corny and stupid. Some of them I won't watch, but some of them,
See, I write. Those of you that know, I write books. I write very good books, and in my books, it doesn't always turn out the way you thought it would. It doesn't always turn out with everybody. Sometimes love is letting go. Just reading the book, listening to the book, oh Lordy, The Untethered Soul. And it talked about when you have a lot of pain, you've been rejected, whatever, you have to be willing to face the pain, to face it so that you can get past it. If you don't face it, you'll never get past it.
pain is one of the things. It's one of the worst things because you feel so alone,
Yeah,
so abandoned by the person you care more about than anybody in the world, except maybe your children. And yeah, how do you get past that? They didn't deliberately hurt you. You hope, but even if they did, how do you say to them, you can't do that to me anymore,
yeah,
without saying you can't do that to me anymore? There's got to be a way, a bridge that you cross over that lets you get off safely on the other side and still be speaking to each other.
yeah,
You know, because sometimes it's like they just want you to shut up and they want to walk out the door. But that's what our agreement was. Don't ever walk out of the house on me when we're having an argument or a difference of opinion. Let's just make it nice first. You're okay. I'm okay. You're gonna come home when this is over.
when you were speaking about Hallmark, one of the things with Hallmark movies is I feel they are unrealistic and they're so sugary sweet you could get diabetes from them. But
It's what your heart wishes for. That's
I
all.
know it, but it's. I want to talk about that.
Okay, this is your show.
No, it's not. This is ours. Um, okay, but some things are true and sometimes are not true. Other times I want to talk about a couple of them. Um, love means sacrifices, but if only one person is sacrificing, nah,
That's not love.
no. Patience is a virtue, but it has
Thing
a
is,
limit.
it does have a limit, and I know there are times when people say, "Why did you do this?" or "Why did you do that?" It's because of who I am. We all have our own personalities, and hopefully, the person that you're married to knew some of that before they married you, as well as you know certain some of the things about them, and you pray that you can iron out everything else as it goes along. But some people just can't. Some people have to fight all the time. I'd rather back down than fight. I'll wait it out and see if I can make it work. It's just the way I am. Not the best way to be because it's raise your voice a little, you might get more attention.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Hallmark.
You like Hallmark.
No, no. What I want to talk about is we are all movie makers. We make movies in our heads. In Unity, we teach where your mind goes, energy flows, and manifestation follows. If you are making up illusions, stories that are not, they don't have any substance to them, uh, they're not real, therefore they cannot last. So I would, like I say, I write books, I write novels. My mind is always thinking of stuff. I always tell her my dreams, and she's like,
I've never seen anybody who dreams like that.
there
Every
are.
night she comes home and the next morning she says, I had a dream. That's not weird. You have a dream every night. I wake up in the morning and I go, oh my God, it's morning. It's time to get up.
Well, we have to be careful when we. Here'd be a typical example of me. We got 6 minutes left. It goes by so fast.
Oh,
Um,
no.
let's say that you meet someone. You're single and you meet someone, and you go to dinner. Well, by the next morning, I'd have made up a whole script that this was the most wonderful thing in the world, and I knew what our lives were going to be like, and I didn't know. What a pile of baloney.
I never thought that way.
That I do. I make up stories in my head, but I had to learn to make my stories more reasonable and without being, dry and boring. And you know, love. First of all, love is not an emotion. A lot of people think love is it's not an emotion. It's a principle. Uh, Romance has emotion involved. Infatuation has emotion involved. So you want to remember that love is different. And that, remember that movie? What was that one? Love Story. Love is never having to say I'm sorry. Oh, Hockey Puck. If they can't say I'm sorry, they're not sorry.
You're in trouble.
I hate to say this, but we ran out of time
I
to.
ran out of questions and answers.
Oh hell no! I got lots. I could go on for 2 days. We're just going to, because we haven't eaten yet.
She
we-
does not like to miss a meal. One thing about
You
tell you
can
about
tell.
this woman, if you're interested in her, she does not like to miss a meal. And
Um,
besides, she cooks them all, so it's fine with me.
this works. So we love you, right?
We do. We're
We
so
do.
glad that you enjoy watching us.
Whether we've met you,
Foolish as we
whether
might
we
be at times.
haven't, we're
We
happy.
may not answer all your questions.
If you got questions, you can ask.
That's right.
Email me. Put a question underneath the. Make a comment on the
Say
thing.
hello.
This will be up on YouTube in a little while. Remember the key lesson that Jesus taught was love. Love God. Love yourself. Love each other. Don't drop that love yourself, especially in our challenging times today. We need to love ourselves a little bit extra.
And always think about that. Just think about that, because sometimes the people that you want to be with the most, and for some reason you can't, you may never see them again.
Hey, you know
That
what?
sounds very sad. But
That's
I
true.
lost
You
Carl
never
because of that.
know. You never know when that last kiss, that last I love you, will be the last.
You don't have any
Time.
idea. And you think
Yeah.
about it, it makes you sad. It shouldn't make you sad. It should make you more determined to have a good relationship, a good marriage.
Yeah.
Love your
And
partner.
you can live without a romantic relationship. I have a good life. I have a happy life. Um,
And now we have each other.
we have each other.
And
I
we
mean,
understand because we have a life.
if some
that we're
wonderful guy
living.
came trotting down the hall,
I'd introduce her to him in a quick minute.
take my sister, please.
No, you know better than that.
But live a life of love more than ever now. Okay? All right. Well, cheers. We did it.
Cheers. We did it again.
God bless, and I hope we see
Let us
you.
know how you liked it. We would be very interested.
Yeah, we'd love to know if you liked it. Okay. God
And do you
bless
really
you, my
love
friends.
the hats?
Yes, these are. Yeah, Eileen already said that. She said, "Love your headpiece." I got 2 minutes left. I wanted to say, Eileen, it was told one of the stories about love. Well, it's about life in general, but she said if you're walking down the street and you fall into a hole and you get up and you get out and you keep walking, and the next day you're walking down the street and you fall into a hole and then you get up and you start walking, you learn when you stop falling into the hole. And if that hole that you keep falling into, I've fallen in love. Yeah, you better double check. Could be you fallen into lust. You could have fallen into infatuation. You could have fallen into the dreams. Oh, the
And then
crazy
there's
dreams.
sometimes it's like you fall in love with somebody, you really fall in love with them. The first time I saw my husband, I
That's
fell in love with him. I really
That's
fell
true.
in love with him. And it never went away.
I think it was karmic. I don't know how it could be anything else after
I
all
mean, to
these
see
years.
him 2 minutes after I saw him, I was like, I wasn't thinking this is a man I'm going to marry. It was just like, took my breath away. And it never went away. And I don't have them now, but I have a lot of wonderful memories.
Oh,
So
you got good
remember,
memories. Yeah.
even though they go away sometimes.
And remember, the memories were real at the moment.
That's
okay?
right.
Even the ones that got away, the ones that didn't work, the ones that got away, you should maybe thrown over anyway.
Yeah.
All right, enough of that. God bless. Take
Good
care.
night.
and a happy, happy Valentine's Day.
See our lovely flowers.
Cheers. Paper flowers.
Cheers. Paper. You don't have to
I
tell
would have even liked
everybody.
paper flowers. I got none. Bye.
Want to take these home?
No.